What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today on the table in front of us, we have a Twosun knife. Now, this is not a new Twosun knife, but it is new to me in the sense that it was loaned to me by Microphonetheknife, my buddy Chad, and I really appreciate that. He, by the way, has an excellent Instagram page under Microphonetheknife. You should check it out. He also does amazing anno work. Now, so far, he's just doing it for himself and friends, but the quality of work he's putting out, I'm hoping that he's going to do it for other people because it's good. But all that aside, he did loan me this amazing knife to look at. Now, this is the TS100. This is one of the earlier generations of Twosun knives, first sort of forays into M390. And man, this thing is really, really interesting. It is integral. This is one piece of titanium, and it is done really well. Now, if you don't like cutouts in your titanium, this is not going to be the knife for you. But because of these cutouts, it is very light. It's also a little blade heavy because of that. But it's surprisingly comfortable. You can feel these a little bit when your hand is closed. Okay, well, a lot. But it doesn't create an issue. It is very comfortable to hold. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but there's a little bit of a ramp right here, which doesn't show very well, but it does give you a nice place to put your thumb when you're holding the knife. The blade itself is absolutely beautiful. It comes to a very slicey edge. It is reasonably thin, M390. It has a really great flat grind up here at the front. It's got a little bit of flat here. It comes to a very nice edge. It's really an enjoyable knife to carry and to use. The action is Twosun excellent. Most Twosun knives have very good action. This one is no exception. And it is a night morning design. There is the night morning logo. I'm not sure that's going to appear, but we'll give it a shot. I like this thing. It's got some features that I think are cool. The hardened steel insert is actually an outsert. It's on the outside of the lock bar and then folds around to the other side so that you have hardened steel up against the M390. It is a very nice touch. The fit and finish on this thing are excellent. Now, Chad did mention to me that it wasn't dead centered, and I do notice that there is no blade play. It does close a little close to the show side, and because it is an integral, that is a little harder to repair. It does have one feature that I don't quite know what to do with, beyond all of its kind of cool weirdness, and that is this. Now, this looks for all the world like a thumb deployment option, and it isn't at all. You cannot use it to deploy this knife. What this is a single-sided blade stop, and that's weird. But functional, you know, I mean, this thing locks up really, really well. So whatever they're doing there, it works. However, it does persistently make me want to thumb this thing open, and there's just no way to do that. It does deploy by a relatively low flipper that's sort of out of the way. I mean, it's low profile, and it's been drilled out. So this whole knife seems to be built around the idea of weight reduction, which is a unique thing. Often integral knives are heavy. They've done a great job here. In the time that I've had this and carried it and used it, here's what I've come to, and I've mentioned this on my channel before. This is a really interesting, verging on weird knife that doesn't give up its just really good knife functionality, and that is a really nice touch. Because of this really cool blade grind and nice thin edge, this thing slices like crazy, does everything you want it to all day long, and it manages to do it while looking, if this is your kind of thing, exceptionally cool. Let's do some size comparisons. Here it is against our old friend, the Rat Model 1. And as you can see, the TS100 is actually a little tiny bit longer, but not much, and of course has a lot more blade than the Rat 1. Here it is against our friend, the Rat Model 2, just for giggles, and yeah, of course, the TS100 is considerably larger. Again, I use these knives because most people have seen these, so I figure you'll know what we're talking about. The actual dimensions on the knife, you get 1, 2, 3, and about 3/4 of cutting on 4 inches of M390. The overall knife is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3/4 inches long. It has a really generous handle area. As you can see, there's a fair amount sticking out. But because, even with all of this funky milling, it is basically just a rectangle, it fits very well in hand. I really have enjoyed carrying and using this thing. And I will say that for as weird as this sort of rib cage effect is, it does offer fantastic grip. This thing doesn't want to go anywhere because you get a hold of this knife, and all of these are chamfered, by the way, so there's no sharp edges here. You just get a hold of this thing and it just locks into your hand really, really nicely. Twosun continues to make really interesting knives. In fact, I would say they almost make too many. It's very hard to keep track of the new Twosun knives because they release knife after knife after knife. But here's the thing, they continue to release good knives, and so I'm okay with that. A lot of companies dump a ton of knives on the market, and out of those ton of knives, some of them are really good, a few of them are great, a bunch are okay. Twosun seems to produce a lot of knives, and with a few exceptions, 80% or 90% of them are very good. This is no exception. You can still find these on the secondary market. I don't know if you can still find these from Twosun. They do stop producing knives every so often, and I think this is one of the ones they've stopped producing. I share it with you just because I think it's interesting and because my buddy was nice enough to loan it to me. But let's use this then as an example. If you are looking for a good knife in great materials that is still at a reasonably attainable price, this is a great way to go. And the Twosun knives in M390 and titanium as a whole are a great way to go. I really enjoyed having it. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at it. This has been the Twosun TS100. I have been, as always, your humble host here at A Therapeutic Edge. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video on your way out. It helps the channel. If you have any questions about the TS100 or any of the knives you've seen here, please feel free to ask down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.